Good morning, everybody. This is Marshall Townsend with the Growing Leadership, blog number 10. Today's topic is go for average. And I'll tell you what, I've been using SteamYard. I gotta get it right. But it says right there on the screen, StreamYard. And I tell you, I'm really liking this. I'm going to have to go research the affiliate program and see if I can get some links to you. So if you want to try it out, right now I'm on a free version of it doing this. So anyway, today's discussion is on go for average. Now, I'm going to go back in time a little bit. When I went into the military, I went in as a second lieutenant, an armor officer, and I was assigned to Germany as my first duty assignment. Now, this is back in 79 is when I hit the ground. And around 1982, I had been promoted through second lieutenant to first lieutenant. I was asked to extend another year in Germany and take company command. Now that's out of the normal. Normally it's a captain that is a company commander, but as a first lieutenant, I was offered command of Alpha Company, second of the 33rd Armor, up the Tiger Battalion up on Kurzgons, or the Rock as it was called, part of the 3rd Armor Division. And I did. So I extended a year in Germany to take command of Alpha Company. But what happened is a new battalion commander came in after that arrangement had been made, and I had extended. And the new battalion commander came in, and we'll just call him Lieutenant Colonel Joe. We're not going to mention. I take it back. Lieutenant Colonel Phil. Let's call him that. That's his first name, and I'm not going to mention his last name. But he had a command philosophy that, and I'll tell you what you do is you come in, you take over an organization, you're going to sit everybody down in that organization and give them your command philosophy, your leadership philosophy. And he sat with us that day with all the officers of the battalion, and he told us there's 2 ways to get recognized in the Army. One is to do something bad. The other one is to do something good. All right. And well, okay, that makes sense. That's reasonable. He says, but here's the thing. My goal is to not be recognized. And we were taken back by that for a moment. And it was like, what? So you do something good or you do something bad. But his goal was to not be recognized. And he added to that, and he said, and let me make it clear that any officer in my organization who violates either one of those is no longer welcome in my command. Well, that's interesting because now I was in trouble because just prior to that, I had been selected as a first lieutenant to be the primary trainer for a new training system for the entire Armor Corps or the 3rd Armor Division, to all the armor battalions, all the armor companies. And that system was MILES, Multiple Integrated Laser Engagement System. And along with that, I was the primary trainer on a thing called the After Action Review, the AAR. So I had just spent the last summer training all the units of the 3rd Armor Division, and I had just received an AAM, an Army Achievement Medal. No, Army, yeah, for that service. Now, this was a brand new medal at the time, and I was, in fact, probably the first one. I think I was told I was the first one in the 3rd Armor Division, or at least in Europe, that received an AAM medal. So I had been, I kind of stood out. Not only that, I had been selected for company command. So I got 2 days after that event, I got called into his office and was told I did not fit his command and I would not get my company command and I would be moved out of the battalion to brigade as soon as possible. So within a couple months, boom, I was moved up to brigade. That was kind of harsh. That was hard. But this philosophy, the idea that don't do anything good, don't do anything bad. Success is not getting noticed. And unfortunately, that commander went on to become a brigade commander, and ultimately he was noticed and relieved from command for some other things he was doing. Unfortunately, not because of his leadership style or his leadership philosophy. He got relieved for some other issues. But that weighed on me. That was in the back of my mind until I came back to the armor school. When I got back to the armor school, I was asked by the post commander to stay at the Armor School and become a 10-day war instructor, a teacher of new lieutenants coming in on tactics and warfare. And that was exciting because ultimately I became one of the first 2 M1 tank tactics instructors in the Army. In that were for training officers. But part of that, I was given additional duty of working with a thing called the Battlefield Management System. Battlefield Management System was a new tactical command post development. And in there, they basically, the Army wrote specifications for a new project, put it out to different organizations, different companies, who then created their idea of how to answer that contract. And then each of those different companies were brought to Fort Knox, and then they were tested. Their equipment that they brought was tested to see one matched the specification, which ones worked the best. Right? So I had the opportunity to be put onto that as a project officer and work with General Dynamics and Hughes Aircraft on their version of the BMS system, Battlefield Management System. Now, this is 1998. No, excuse me. Gosh, I just went brain dead there. This is 1984, 1985. And at this time, the world consists of amber screen monitors and green screen monitors, if you can remember that. And also, the Macintosh was just getting ready to come out. So we didn't even have a mouse yet. There was no mouse on computers. Amber screen monitors and green screen monitors. But what they had in their system was touch screens, where you could touch the screen and you could laser laser a target at 10,000 meters out with a CO2 laser. Boom, hit it. It would pop up on your screen. You could touch it, designate it on the screen what it was, and then data burst it through first generation Singar's radio over to the command post. And the command post could put notes on that, give you directions, draw orientations on the map or directions on the map, data burst that back down to the crew. And it was a high tech. I mean, it was futuristic. It was 10 to 15 years ahead of its time in the technology. But when it came down for the final bidding and the final, who was awarded the contract, what I learned is there's 2 ways not to get a contract with the government. Number 1, do something bad. In other words, don't meet the specifications or build something that doesn't work. And number 2, exceed expectations. Do something that was not in the contract, to add into the contract more things than was asked for in the contract. And the answer was the Army would not buy what was presented to them, although it was 10 to 15 years, like I say, ahead of its time, and would have been a light year jump in technology and our ability to fight on the battlefield. The answer was no, we're not buying that, because in reality, it exceeded expectations. And within the model of how you do contracting, you have to go for what's within the lines of specification. See, that's a major difference between management and leadership. See, management is just that, is going to be, we're going to make the trains run on time. We're going to keep things within specifications. We're going to keep our budget below budget and never exceed the budget. We're never going to build more product in an hour than what the specifications call for. We're not going to build less, but we're not going to build more. We're going to work our shifts and we're going to produce at a certain level. That's set by specification. And the job as a manager is to keep everything normal. I go back and I look at that leader that I had as battalion commander in the early 80s, and he was operating to norm. See, it's like I said, a successful command was not doing anything, was keeping everything normal, keeping everything steady. Nothing good, nothing bad. And by doing so, just continue to move through the promotions, move up the chain, be able to be promoted and take brigade command in his time, because nothing bad happened, nothing good happened, just normal. And I tell you, take a look at your organization. Where are you at in this scheme? Is management your leadership style? Because management and leadership are not the same. Really, it's a management style. It's not a leadership style. It's a management. If you've ever heard me talk about the campfire, the job of the guy who manages the campfire is to keep the campfire going, but make sure the campfire never goes anywhere, that it stays inside the campfire ring. So he's got a job of keep it going, keep the fire burning, but never let it go anywhere. That's the safe and most successful route to success. So take a look at your business. Where are you at in this game? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be able to go and move your organization forward? Are you willing to take advantage of the things that come to you, like 1984 touch screen computers and sophistication that exceeds your imagination is right at your fingertips? Are you ready to lead and jump on it? All right, this is Marshall Townsend with our blog today. And like I say, I'm going to have to look for a link. I'm really liking StreamYard here. I think this is a really good, solid platform for doing this. You guys have a good day out here.